anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective tarot for today. Today is Thursday, August 7th, 2025. Happy birthday to my brother. Today he is 42. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever does not, just leave it on the table for someone else. We don't want you taking on energy that wasn't meant for you. Pretty easy. We're going to use Intuitive City Oracle by Rob Barthelman. You can find this at intuitiveintention.com, My Intuitive Intention on Etsy, and then he also sells his decks in the TikTok shop. We got 2 on the table, 3 on the table. I'm uploading the Crow Oracle for the collective for the day if anybody's interested. It was actually pretty good. It was pretty good. It was a little different. I don't know that we've had a reading like that in a while. It's about someone stealing someone else's person. We got 4 on the table. Whew. Okay, we got 5 on the table with 1 major. The Crow Oracle is 50 minutes, by the way. It's going to take a while to upload because it's YouTube, and it's going to take you a while to watch it, and I'm going to admit I yap through a lot of it. We got 6 on the table, 1 major. I'm going to do 2 more shuffles. Seven on the table, 1 major. Okay, 1 more shuffle. 1 more shuffle. All right, we got 8 with bottom of the deck. Well, oh, get out of here. Well, that is interesting. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Wands, the Lovers, the Empress. I'm not going to lie. Oh, look at that. 2 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, the Sun. Top of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune, the Hangman, King of Cups, 3 of Swords, the High Priest, 8 of Wands. Y'all, I think that all goes with this reading. I'm not going to lie. Okay, let me show you the cards. We got 8 with bottom of the deck. We've only got 1 major, but it's a doozy. We got 9 of Cups. We got 10 of Pentacles. We got 3 of Wands. We got 3 of Pentacles. We got the Emperor. That's right, folks. Didn't we have him like the other day in the cards? We got 6 of Swords. It wasn't yesterday. I don't think it was yesterday. Monday? 2 of Swords. Knight of Swords. A lot of swords and pentacles. Masculine, feminine, take how it resonates. You can change the Emperor to an Empress. It doesn't matter. The Empress card was there at the bottom of the deck, so I need some water. I didn't even take 1 sip during the other reading. I hate drinking on camera, but sometimes my voice. So, okay. So let me just say this. Whoever this emperor is, okay, this person is fighting with themselves with the Two of Swords. So I'm just going to say this. I don't think this is someone that's not healing, like, or not healed or toxic or karmic or anything like that. I think this is an emperor, okay? I mean, I always go emperor, empress. I think it's an emperor. I think they're, of status. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. When the first five cards came out, right? Nine of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Three of Pentacles, the Emperor. My first thought was someone is leaving their family. Okay, don't come for me. Someone is leaving their family. And then the Six of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Knight of Swords came out. And it's like somebody's in this conflict. So let me tell you what I think this is. What I'm seeing, okay? Whoever this emperor is, they're in a relationship, okay? And they may have thought, like, this is Nine of Cups, right? Like, this is Ten of Pentacles. Like, this is fulfillment. Like, I'm very happy with this person. Like, we create a lot together. There's room for growth with the Three of Wands. Like, the Three of Pentacles, we can do a lot together, right? Create a lot together. But then it's like, when I look at this Six of Swords, it gives me like the thought that whether this person is going to leave this person to go to another person or just leave because they feel like they would do better without them, there's something about them leaving something behind and going towards something else. But that something else might not be known. So again, if this is a person, right? Like, this emperor is in a relationship, possibly even married. We got the Ten of Pentacles. Family is family. You take how that resonates for you. Not all families are two married people and kids, right? I was saying this the other day because we've been getting the Ten of Pentacles a lot lately in the readings, and I said this a couple times, I think. I consider myself and my four cats a family. Okay? So whatever this emperor is involved with, whatever their situation is, whether they're in a relationship, it's just them, they have adult kids, they're divorced, they're married, I don't know. But it gives the energy of somebody relatively happy where they're at, but also realizing that there's something else out there for them. And having a lot of inner turmoil about it. And who wouldn't? Who wouldn't, right? And deciding that they're going to leave wherever they're at, whoever they're with, whatever the situation is, and they're going to go towards something else. I'm not going to lie, like, it kind of resonates for me. Just, it kind of reminds me of, like, when I got separated and I got divorced. For the most part, I had a good husband. The relationship was lacking in areas, and I'm going to be honest, like, he didn't want to put in a lot of work. He didn't want to put in a lot of effort. I probably could have stayed if he was more of a man figure, if he was a little more manly. And I just mean by the fact that, like, it was like dealing with a child. It was just like dealing with a man child. But the thing is once you realize like there's something off there and you start to fall out of love with them, like there's really no going back from that. Like, why would you want to stay in a relationship like that? And this kind of gives off that kind of energy, like this emperor is really happy where they're at, and it seems really good on the outside, but then like when they really think about it, it's almost like there could be so much more out there. And I don't necessarily think, again, I don't necessarily think that this emperor is going from one person to another person. It could be. It could be. I think it's somebody realizing, they thought they were happy, but they're not happy. And why am I going to stay here if I'm not happy? Like, yeah, this is all good, right? On the surface. But if I dig a little deeper, like, I could probably get this and a hell of a lot more, like, in a different situation with a different person. And like I said, it's not easy, like, I was probably unhappy in my marriage for a few years before we actually separated and divorced. And I had told him at the beginning, okay, we can try to make it work, but like it just wasn't. It just like I like as soon as I said the words, like I knew it wasn't going to work. I knew it wasn't going to change, and I wasn't going to change my mind, and you know, I wasn't going to stay in a relationship that I had to give 100% to, and he was given like 30. And I'm sure, two sides to every story, right? Three sides if you count God. God sees everything. I'm sure he would say something completely different, and that's fine. I fully expect that in any situation, not just the situation with the ex-husband, but I just couldn't see myself staying there. I like that. Like it would have like literally killed my soul. like like I can't even imagine still being married to him now, like 3 years later. Like we would have had our 10-year anniversary this year in September. September 26th was our anniversary. It would be 10 years this year. And I guarantee you we would have been in the same spot we were in 3 years ago. In debt, stagnant, not moving, probably barely talking. Probably me still talking to other people on the internet because I'm so unhappy, right? I would not want to be there. Like what kind of marriage is that? What kind of union is that? What kind of relationship is that? And it's funny because like this this emperor sees the good in this connection, but it's like, is there something out there better? Is something out there brighter? And that's not to say that the connection that they're in or the person that they're with, like there's anything wrong with them. It's just kind of waking up and realizing sometimes we think we're making the best choice at the time, and it probably was, right? You go towards a person, you have feelings for that person, but can we be honest? People fall out of love. People realize that someone isn't for them and someone else is. And yeah, whoever this person is that they're leaving behind, if that's the case, yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. I feel for them, you know? I've had people leave me behind before, right? Like I know what that feels like. It's horrible. It's horrific. Like the thing that whatever it does to you mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually, like it's absolutely devastating when somebody says, "Oh, I don't think you're the one. I don't think I love you anymore." Like, I know when I told my ex-husband that I wanted a divorce, I know he was upset. I know I destroyed him. The thing is I wasn't going to stay there and live like that. And nobody should have to stay there and live like that. And he shouldn't have to stay there and live in the position that I put him in, right? And then he put himself in. Like, it's not good. It's not healthy. Sometimes things just don't work out, you know? I mean, think of all the people that stay in marriages and relationships and they don't even like each other. Like, why? Why? Like, why would you do that? This emperor might be religious or spiritual, because I kind of get the feeling that they might be praying, or maybe talking to God, talking to their angels, something religious or spiritual based, like asking for guidance kind of thing, asking for signs, synchronicities. And I don't know how to, like, time is time, right? Like, it's and this is a general reading, this is a collective reading. But when I look at this 3 of Pentacles and I'm looking at the tower that these gentlemen are building up there, I get the feeling that whoever, if this was an emperor with another person, right? Because it could, when you look at this, it could technically be like a work situation or something like that. But to me, it gives off relationship vibes. It's like they were with this other person for a while. And again, I can't give you like months, years, anything like that, but it just seems like somebody was building something with someone, or they thought they were going to build something with someone, and then they realize maybe I shouldn't go any further, cuz maybe this is not my person. Cat hair in my mouth. Because it's funny, like when I look at the card, and the reason why I think this is a relationship is because when I look at the cards, like it goes in a circle for me. Like this person is in a commitment of some kind, they think it's fulfilling. Then they have this conflict. Then they realize they want to go towards this brighter future. They want to go quickly, like they want to leave this person and go towards something else. And then it like swings back around full circle, like, oh look, I found my 10 of Pentacles, my 9 of Cups. Like now I really have found like the person, the situation I want to be with. Pardon me. And unfortunately, like I said, when this emperor makes their decision, they're going to hurt somebody. They're going to hurt this person that they're leaving, this situation that they're leaving, because you see all this stuff crumbling around them, you know? And like I said, if this emperor doesn't know who they're going to or where they're going, it kind of, your life, their life is in upheaval too. Like when I went through separation and went through my divorce with the ex-husband, like I think I told you guys before, like when we actually got divorced, January of 2023, I cried. He didn't cry, I cried. Cuz like this was it. This was the ending. Like we were no longer together. Like we were not bound to each other. He doesn't owe me anything. I don't owe him anything. Like I'm literally out there on my own, winging it, after being with him for 11 years. And he was only my second real relationship, and technically when you look at the ex before him, I was only with the ex before him for like 2 or 3 months. So in reality, he was my first real relationship. And I was on my own. And it's exhilarating on one hand because I'm finally free, to live the way I want to live and do what I want to do for me. But on the other hand, it's like, holy shit, I'm free. Like I have no safety net. Like I have to work, I have to take care of myself. Like there's no fallback, you know. I mean, I kind of felt like that in the marriage anyway, I'm not gonna lie. I usually made more money because I did a lot of overtime and I was the one putting in all the effort. I don't know what this is. This is the last thing before I let this go. The reverse of the Six of Swords, Rob Barthelman put hesitance on there. And there's something about this person might have actually put this off for a while. Like, and I'm just throwing out a few numbers out there because again, like I don't want to mess with timing, and you can take how it resonates for you. But it's just an example, but like let's say that this emperor was with another person for, let's say, 5 years, okay? But let's say like 2 years in, like they kind of knew. Like they kind of knew that they might not be able to stay with this person long term. Like there was something there, but they were hesitant. They were hesitant. And it's whoever this emperor is, they're like a deep thinker. Like whatever this inner conflict was, like they had this for a while. And again, I'm just throwing out like example numbers. It could be weeks, months, whatever. But I'm just saying, like somebody was really hesitant to even like think about leaving another person. Yeah. A lot of people a lot of people don't want to leave marriages or commitments, and you hear a lot of married people, men and women, saying, "Oh no, I don't want to get a divorce because I'm going to have to give my husband or my wife half of everything." I was just talking to my friend about this at work today. So you're going to stay in an unhappy marriage or relationship for the next 40 years because you don't want to give somebody like 50 grand, 100 grand. I, me, I would be like, okay, yeah, you get this because we were together this long. And then I'd be out there working my ass off to replenish the coffers because there's no, like I said, there's no way in hell I would stay in a relationship that I didn't want to stay in for money reasons. And I've told you, if you follow, if you subscribe, I've told you guys this before. Like, I pretty much told the ex-husband he could have whatever he wanted because I just wanted out. I was done. I wanted out of that relationship. And I think I also told you guys that I sold my Lego collection, which was technically priceless. I think all of my sets I think I sold for like 12 to 15 grand, something like that. And I spent some of the money like before we even sold the house and went our separate ways. But I had asked him, I have some money from selling the Lego, I should say, because he wasn't going to get a lot from the sale of the house. He never put anything into it. I did. And that was the one thing I asked him was, can I get my money back? Because that was my money. And he agreed to that. But I asked him, I said, do you want some of my Lego money? And he said, sure. And I said, how much do you want? And he didn't he didn't ask me how much I had, but he was like, $5,000. Like he literally said it like he wasn't even sure I had $5,000. And I kind of like looked at him and I kind of like was like, and I was like, okay, yeah, okay. Like kind of made him think like maybe I didn't have as much as I had, but he wanted the $5,000. I gave him $5,000 in an envelope. That's what he wanted. And he added that to what he made from the sale of the house. I don't know. I think he walked away with like almost $8,000. Like he really did not walk away with a lot. However, when we got divorced, I didn't want anything of his. He had his 401k that he was building for years and years before we ever got together. I didn't want any of it. I told him, as long as you don't touch mine, I'm not touching yours. And I think he thought I was crazy. The thing is I didn't really want anything of his. I wanted to walk away from that relationship and I wanted to do it on my own. And I wanted to stand on my own 2 feet, whatever that looked like. And honestly, like, I was never out to screw him over. That's never what it was about for me, you know? So I gave him his $5,000 and, I figured that was okay. But I would never stay in a relationship because I'm afraid to give somebody money. Like if you're married for like 30 years and you have 2 kids and all of a sudden you're like, okay, we're not compatible, let's get a divorce. I mean, you were married for 30 years. You owe each other, you know what I mean? Like you do owe each other something, or the person that made the most money owes the person that stayed at home, whatever the case. Yes, but don't not get a divorce because you don't want to give somebody like their due. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. Cuz like I said, I cannot imagine still being married to him. I could not imagine what that would look like 3 years later. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there cuz I'm just going to repeat myself over and over again. Um I hope the message resonates for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you were entertained. And I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.